I moved abroad and lost myself in the process. And I'm going to explain this in this video. I am an immigrant. I'm now living in Mexico and I'm from Haiti. I learned English back home um, when I was in school. I'm actually self taught, by the way, but I had a bunch of friends who was who were learning English as well, and I joined them and until I ended up speaking it as well. Okay. Well, in 2016, um, I was um, I had enough money to leave the country because the country didn't give me what I was looking for, which is the opportunity to um, work on what I can do. At that time, I didn't finish university, but I was able to speak English, which means I could work as an interpreter. And I couldn't make money. I bought a motorcycle to do like taxi and stuff, but this didn't work for me either. And what I did, I decided to leave the country and then I went to Chile, a country which is very far away from home. Um, a Spanish spoken country. I didn't know anything about Spanish. I had nobody there. All my hope and dreams was to go over there, start my life over, and basically start working and help myself and my family back home. I got to Chile and I was I was like lost at the airport. I didn't know. And of course, I know how to say hello, stuff like that. But when it comes to strike up a conversation or asking for help or something like that, I didn't know anything about this. But at that time, I had like $1,000 for pocket money, and I managed to get around and I went to a place and go to a Plaza de Armas. It's a place where you go early morning. It's like a open air place where people go every morning, very early morning, to go look for a job. And I remember go there very early morning, just sitting down and wait when the pickup truck go by so that you can just jump in the back and then they will take you to place where you can work, like in garden, like picking up trees, picking up apples and stuff like that. You put it in the basket and then they pay you according to the weight. They call this beans. And as time went by, I started to get myself together and I started to learn Spanish a lot because I got the obligation to learn the language because it's a Spanish spoken country. My native language is not spoken over there. Um, and as time went by and years went by, I spent like 4 years over there. I started to miss home so much. All the little details back home, missing my family, and I couldn't travel because I didn't have money for that. And I had a temporary paper that was given to me, and I was never able to get the permanent residence because they asked me for a paper, which I had to go back to my country to get it. And I couldn't go. I couldn't do it until I left Chile to go to Dominican Republic, which is in Punta Cana. In the process, I lost my dad. He got sick. My dad was diabetic, um, hypertension. He passed away while I was outside, and I was not even able to assist the funeral. And moving from one country to another, I started to feel like I'm losing my sense of identity. You know, when you go to a new country, you better adapt, because if not, not just with the people, but also with the food, with the culture, with the environment, with the climate. It's a lot of things to adapt to. You know, and if it's something you're doing for survival, you better adapt. It's not like you're just doing it because you're just visiting. It's like your life depends on it right now. You have to adapt in order to survive. And as the months and years went by, I started to really feel like I'm losing myself, and not just with the change, but also sending money every single month to sustain the family back home. And I'm the kind of person, I don't like to talk about my problems. Since I do that, people always think I never have problems. I like helping, but I got to a point where it's just too much. It's just too much burden on my shoulder, and not just helping people. I'm talking about my family, but also you feel lost. You feel trapped. You feel lost. You feel like, like sometime when I go to bed, I feel much better while I was unconscious in my sleep. I feel like I'm finally resting. But the moment I wake up, oh my God, back to the reality, back to life. I explained this to someone, and she told me that this is a societal thought. And I don't think I'm thinking about societal. This is not about societal, but it's about being so exhausted of keeping up with all this bullshit in life. It's a lot of things, man. I don't know. I mean, it's a lot to process. If you've never been outside of your country, and are like with the intention of migrating, it is gonna be so difficult to really understand what I'm trying to express right here. And of course, I got a lot to say, and this video would be too long. And I will create another video to talk about what I really feel, and on my life update, and everything I've been through. I've been to like 7 different countries, so since 2016 until now. you know and I will explain everything that happened to me along the way, all the hardships, everything good and bad that happened to me, and I will keep you posted. This is my life story, and thank you for watching.